From being one of the protesters against the current regime, Sanath Jayasuriya is now the face of tourism of Sri Lanka. Though it's an honorary job for him, but he is expected to bring in tourists to a country that has seen a lot of destruction, a lot of protests in the last few months. Sanath, thank you very much for joining us to talk about your current role. Tell us, how did this turnaround come about? You were one of the face of the protests and now the face of Sri Lankan tourism.
Good morning. I think good question. And the whole of Sri Lanka went through last 3 months a real roller coaster, and it was really bad time for everyone in Sri Lanka, and it affects everyone, and started the non-violence protest we were involved in, because I always believe in without any violence we should do. So that was from the start, my theory and my thinking was, and that's what I said to the world also. So after everything gone, the president left, and the things have been changed, and the people can't every day go onto the road and protest. That also we should realize, Sri Lankans. We need to come back to normalcy, and it's just started. And we had really a bad thing with the gas. The gas issue was sorted. There's no queue at the moment, and they came up with the petrol issue also with a QR code. They're issuing on a system in a QR code. But because of that only, the queues have been reduced, and the system and how to use the petrol, because it came up with a nice plan. So everything has been reduced now. So when the new president came in, and also new tourism minister and land minister Harin Fernando came into this ministry, he asked me whether can I come with him to involve in promoting tourism in Sri Lanka. Then he specifically said this is an honorary job. This is for Sri Lanka. So I said yes, for Sri, because I am not into any political party. As long as Sri Lankan people is getting benefit, I will help. So I thought, okay,
right.
I just thought of involve with him, and just started as a brand ambassador for tourism in Sri Lankan Tourism Ministry with the Harin Fernando, the minister. And it's an open thing to bring the tourism and bring the tourist market up in my country. That's what I am planning with the minister and the ministry.
Okay, Sanath, let me ask you, since you are a former cricketer, former World Cup winner, your country was to stage the Asia Cup. Now, as a face of tourism, you couldn't keep that tournament in your country. You had meetings with the Asian Cricket Council chief also. What kind of interactions went on? And it doesn't seem that people have that much of faith in Sri Lanka anymore to pull off tournaments like this.
Yeah, that is a bit unfortunate, because that meetings have happened during those the protest time. So we know that Australia played in Sri Lanka. It's a bilateral series. Only one team came to Sri Lanka. With all the issues, we managed to play, and it went on really well. We were thankful to Australian cricket and the Australian players and what they did during this difficult time. But unfortunately, when it comes to Asia Cup, it's all about 9 teams and qualify games with other countries. And it's been really a difficult task for Sri Lanka cricket. Also the situation in that time. So the Sri Lanka cricket, they had tried their best. That's what I heard. I'm not in Sri Lanka cricket though. I don't know. But according to...
No, I'm just asking you as a face of tourism, because probably the responsibility also lies on your shoulders to stage a tournament like this.
Definitely, I would have loved to have the tournament in Sri Lanka because as a brand ambassador for tourism, there will be a lot of tourists from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. Every country would have been travel to Sri Lanka. But the thing is, unfortunately, it didn't happen in Sri Lanka. So only thing is Sri Lanka Cricket Board is getting the money, what ACC has promised. But unfortunately, it didn't happen in Sri Lanka.
Sanath, talking about tourists going to Sri Lanka once again, we'll have to talk about this British national called Kalik Fraser. Now, I remember the president having said that the foreigners are allowed to protest, but when she started protesting, then, she was rounded up. What kind of message now you would like to give the tourists? Are you going to assure them that they come into your country and they don't get rounded up?
I will say the tourists anywhere in the world, they can come. It's safe here. There's no issues because there are here and there will be a little issues. But you can't take the one incident in the whole thing. So it's a one incident, but I think overall our picture is very clear. Anybody can visit to Sri Lanka. Anybody can travel anywhere in this island, north to south, west to east. There's no issues. So they can travel, they can come back, and especially the Indian tourists. We have a cultural friendship, history, both countries, to explore in Sri Lanka. So I hope there's no issue in Sri Lanka. They can travel to Sri Lanka because I know that it's safe. Otherwise, I won't be able to take. I can't say like this. It's safe and anybody can travel.
Sanath, I've been speaking to some people in Sri Lanka and they say that one of the president's strategies have been to appease elites like you. And people like you who are elites in Sri Lanka have been given plum posts so that you don't go out and protest and spread bad words about Sri Lanka. Is that the reason he also wanted to have you as the face of tourism, the bad boy being made the class monitor?
No, I just told from the start, I'm not into any political party. I never involved in politics, any of these parties, but I did for Sri Lanka. Because Sri Lanka, this is purely the minister personally invited me. So this is the Harin Fanan, the Minister of Tourism. Realized that as a cricketer, I have played cricket for so long and I played in India. So Indian cricket loving public love Sri Lanka. So the Indians love Sri Lanka. I know that. So this is why I personally came into this thing, because nobody, if I see anything wrong, I will even tweet now. That's we should, because we are just saying whatever the countries move forward. Now we can't go back. So we need to put forward in go further up. We can't go further back. So this is why I'm always say now what is happened. You can't counting on the history. You need to move forward and thinking of future of Sri Lanka.
Sanath, many of your taxpayers of Sri Lanka have been protesting against the situation, the economic situation in the country. And when the current president came into power, he started rounding up those guys. Before getting the economy back on its feet, what he started was rounding off the protesters. What kind of message did that give to the international community? And as a brand ambassador of tourism, what will you say about such acts? Even before getting the economy on its feet, your rounding off protesters were primarily your taxpayers.
Yeah, that is what I recently said in my Twitter also. We can't go back now. We need to move forward. We have to very carefully do this. We should forgive them, because the heat of the moment and what they went through, really a difficult time. And the petrol queues, gas queue, there's no power. So this is why people came out and protest. The genuine people came to protest. There will be violent people also in those it was there, but mostly they came in to protest. No violence. They say always no violence. That is the key slogan most of the people. But unfortunately, there were some incidents. This is why now I think we need to move forward. You can't keep people putting behind bars and do this. It's also difficult. But if you're doing that, okay, you did it now. You need to move forward. You'll have to forgive them and move forward. This is what I always said. This is what I said in my Twitter. We need to pull it up, and as a nation, we need to come up as a tourist nation. We have a lot of potential in this country, and I hope we will recover soon.
Sanath, let's talk a little bit about the cricket team that's in Dubai right now, and they will be participating in the Asia Cup. Dasan Shanaka, your captain, what are the realistic expectations from the team? They've done well against Australia, they've done well against Pakistan and against Bangladesh lately.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very tough series. You know, T20 cricket, we are in a group, Bangladesh, Afghanistan and Sri Lanka. It's not very easy. You know, underdogs always come up and do well. So we can't take things very lightly. It will be very tight games, two tight games. And also there will be good game in India-Pakistan game also. Everyone is looking forward to see that game. So I think it's going to be a very exciting tournament. Asia Cup this time is a T20 tournament. I hope the team who's doing well in batting and bowling, at least two departments, can win. And also they need to play really well, good cricket right from the start. Because you can't have anything going wrong in your side, then you will be losing side. So I hope Sri Lanka team have a good chance, and I hope they will do well.
Sanath, in a group that has Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and Afghanistan, who do you really call an underdog?
Yeah, I think if you see the team, Afghanistan will be underdog, but that team will be a powerful team. That is why I said you can't take things lightly, because this T20 game can change any moment. So we are in a real under pressure, I should say. It's not very easy. From the first game, we are under pressure. But that is good also in a way. You need the pressure to perform well.
And who do you think will be the X factor in your side? Your captain?
The captain, Dasun Chanaka, is there, is good. Pathum Nisanka, Charit Asalanka, Danushka Gunatilaka, those are good cricketers we have. They played a long time now, a lot of experience. And I hope, unfortunately, Dushmanta Samira got injured just before we left to Dubai. Other than that, we have Dhananjay. We have a very good side. So I hope they'll do well.
Sanath, one last question about the India versus Pakistan match. India-Pakistan rarely meet these days. It's not like the times that you used to play cricket. Would you say that the contest has lost its sheen?
This contest is always tough contest, you know. If you see India-Pakistan game, those days it would have been different. Now it has come to another different level. So those two countries, anyway, when they come to play cricket, all over the world, there will be a lot of people watching that game. So I'm personally, I love to see that game, because I never get a chance to, we don't get a much chance to see this match, you know. So very rare chance you get in a World Cup, in a Asia Cup, a neutral venue, these two countries come and play. So both teams want to do well. I know India is a good team. They have a very good team in T20 cricket. And the Pakistan also, they never give up. So it's a balance, but it's a very good contest.
One player from India, one player from Pakistan, you will have your eyes on.
My player is always Rohit Sharma, and Babar Azam is Pakistan player to watch.
Thank you very much, Sanath, for joining us on NDTV, and hope you prosper in your new role.